Assalamu alaikum, dear students. In previous lecture we have discussed about vascular tissues. उसमें से हमने वो xylem डिस्कस किया है. Vascular tissues have been mainly divided into two types, xylem and phloem. Xylem हमने उसी लेक्चर में डिस्कस किया. आज हम ये डिस्कस करते हैं phloem. First point is that phloem is a food conducting tissue. It is a food conducting tissue. Phloem is a food conducting tissue. Like xylem, it consists of tubes, but it is not mechanical in function. As you know that xylem consists of dense cells. That means xylem is mechanical in function, it's protective in function. This phloem also contains tubules like xylem, but it is not mechanical in function. Like xylem, this phloem is also made up of four elements. This phloem is also made up of four elements. One is sieve tubules, second companion cells, third one phloem parenchyma, fourth is phloem fibers. Like xylem, this phloem is also made up of four elements or cells. One is sieve tubes, second is companion cells, third is phloem parenchyma, and fourth is phloem fibers. All these cells are living. All these cells are living except phloem fibers, which are dead. Means sieve tubes are living, companion cells are living, phloem parenchyma is also living, but here the phloem fibers which are dead. All cells of phloem are living except phloem fibers which are dead. Now what are sieve tubes? Sieve tubes. These sieve tubes are long, cylinder-like structures. These sieve tubes are long, cylinder-like structures, elongated. They are also elongated, thin-walled cells. Sieve tubes are long, cylinder-like, elongated, thin-walled cells, placed end to end, and hence form a tube-like structure as in xylem. These sieve tubes are slender, elongated, thin-walled cells placed end to end and form a tube-like structure as present in xylem. Just like this. This is one sieve tube. This is a sieve tube. Longitudinal. This is longitudinal section of phloem tissue. This is one sieve tube. This is sieve tube element, which is also known as sieve tube. These are placed end to end. And form a tube-like structure. Just like this. Form a tube-like structure. Sieve tube elements. Now, sieve tubes are slender, like elongated, thin-walled cells placed end to end. These cells are known as sieve tube elements. These sieve tube elements are placed end to end and form a tube-like structure known as sieve tube. And these sieve tube elements contain sieve palates at their ends. These sieve tube elements contain, just like this, here I have shown, they contain sieve palates at their ends. perforated by numerous pores known as sieve pores. These sieve palates are perforated by pores known as sieve pores. Means these sieve tube elements which are present in sieve tubes are placed end to end and form a tube-like structure. Their ends are perforated by contain a palate-like structure known as sieve palate. That sieve palate is perforated by pores known as sieve pores. Known as sieve pores. Here I have shown this. These are sieve pores, and this is sieve palate. At the ends of sieve tube elements. These sieve tube elements are joined, are connected together to form a tube-like structure by means of cytoplasmic bridges. By means here this is cytoplasm. Here this is the cytoplasm. These sieve tube elements are connected together by means of cytoplasmic bridges which are passed through these sieve palates. Means these sieve tube elements are connected together by means of cytoplasmic bridges which are passed through these sieve pores or sieve palates. At maturity, these sieve tube elements, the nucleus degenerates at maturity. The nucleus degenerates. This is an important point here. Nucleus degenerates at maturity. साइटोप्लाज्म होता है इनमें, लेकिन जो न्यूक्लियस होता है वो डिजेनरेट होता है. एट मैच्योरिटी पे इनका न्यूक्लियस जो होता है वो डिजेनरेट होता है. sieve tube एलिमेंट्स का जो न्यूक्लियस होता है. I will summarize these words. sieve tube elements are slender, elongated, thin-walled cells placed end to end and form tube-like structure as in xylem. These cells are called sieve tube elements. These sieve tube elements are placed end to end. At their terminal ends is present a sieve palate perforated by numerous pores known as sieve pores. These sieve tube elements are connected by means of cytoplasmic bridges which is passed through these sieve palates or sieve pores. At maturity, the nucleus of these sieve tube elements degenerates. Now, second is companion cell. Associated this sieve tube elements is present a small. Associated with the sieve tube elements is present a small thin-walled cell. Known as companion cell. Associated with this sieve tubes, a sieve tube element is present a small thin-walled cell known as companion cell. Here I have shown this is a companion cell associated with this sieve tube. Elements. This companion cell contains dense cytoplasm. As well as elongated nucleus. It contains large elongated nucleus. Associated with this sieve tube element is present a small thin-walled cell known as companion cell, and this companion cell contains, just like I have shown here, this is cytoplasm present in companion cell which is dense and a large elongated nucleus. Now this companion cell is connected to this sieve tube elements by means of plasmodesmata. This is connected to this sieve tube elements by means of plasmodesmata. This companion cell is connected to this sieve tube elements by means of plasmodesmata. Now, what is the function of this phloem? As you know that xylem transports water. This phloem is a food conducting tissue. It transports food. Phloem is the food conducting tissue. It transports food from leaves. Phloem transports food from leaves to the storage organelles. And from storage organelles to the growing parts of a plant. The main function of this phloem, The main function of this phloem is a food. It is a food conducting tissue. It transports food. It transports food from leaves, because leaves contain chloroplast mesophyll cells. In the photosynthesis takes place in leaves by means of chloroplast, by means of green pigment chlorophyll. And from the leaves, phloem transports that food, which is mainly sucrose, from leaves to the storage organs. From leaves to the storage organs, and from storage organs to the growing parts of a plant. To the growing parts of a. This is the main function of this phloem tissue. I think this completes the plant tissues. Now there is another topic, that is animal tissues. That is animal tissues को हम डिस्कस करते हैं दूसरे लेक्चर में. Animal tissues are of various types. आज थोड़ा सा हम इसके बारे में इंट्रोडक्शन दे रहा हूं मैं आज. इनके बारे में थोड़ा सा इंट्रोडक्शन दे रहा हूं मैं आज एनिमल टिश्यूज के बारे में. दैट वी विल डिस्कस इन नेक्स्ट लेक्चर. ठीक है. एनिमल टिश्यूज. Animal tissues. All of you know that during breathing, are you now what is breathing? Breathing is simply intake of air, intake of oxygen, and expel of carbon dioxide from the body. Intake of oxygen is known as inhalation, and expel of carbon dioxide is called exhalation. This inhalation and exhalation together constitutes breathing. That takes place in human body, that takes place in human beings. Now during breathing, movement of organs, mainly movement of two organs takes place. One is movement of lungs takes place, and diaphragm. When we breathe air, movement of this lungs takes place, and diaphragm. Diaphragm is a small delicate membrane which separates chest cavity and abdominal cavity, which separates chest and abdomen. Now when we breathe air, these movement of lungs and diaphragm takes place, and the movement of these organs takes place by means of specialized cells. The movement of these organs is only possible by means of specialized cells known as muscle cells. And when we breathe air, oxygen is first transported to the lungs. And from lungs, oxygen is transported by means of blood, which is a fluid connective tissue. Is a connective tissue. Blood is called connective tissue. And from lungs, oxygen is transported to the various cells. It is transported to the cells by means of this blood. And from cells, carbon dioxide is taken by blood to the lungs. And from cells, wastes means carbon dioxide. This is a waste produced in our body. Is transported by blood again back to the lungs. These are the various tissues present in human body. These are the examples of tissues present in human body. One is muscular tissue, means muscle cells. Another is connective tissue, which means blood. Now on the basis of these functions, of the function of these two tissues, meaning muscular tissue, connective tissue, these tissues, animal tissues, have been categorized into various types. On the basis of the function of these muscle cells, connective tissue means blood, animal tissues have been categorized into various types. First one is epithelial tissue. Second is muscular tissue. Third is connective tissue. And fourth is nervous tissue. Nervous tissue. We will discuss them one by one separately. First one is epithelial tissue. First one is epithelial tissue. Now, what is epithelial tissue? Epithelial tissue is the outermost covering of human body. As in plants, epidermis is the outermost covering of plant. Just like in humans, epithelial is the outermost covering of body. Epithelial is the outermost covering of epithelium, or it is also known as epithelium. Epithelium. Epithelium is the outermost covering of human body. The epithelial cells are compactly placed. These epithelial cells are compactly arranged. These epithelial cells are compactly arranged. Means no intercellular spaces are present in between these epithelial cells. These epithelial cells lie on a non-cellular basement membrane. Non-cellular basement membrane. This epithelial tissue lies on a non-cellular basement membrane which is made up of a matrix protein collagen, known as collagen. Epithelial is the outermost covering of human body. As in plants, epidermis is the outermost covering of plant. These epithelial cells in epithelial tissue, epithelial cells are compactly arranged, means no intercellular spaces are present in these epithelial cells. And the epithelial tissue, epithelial cells lie on a non-cellular